Hey guys, welcome to Late Night Sessions with Bean. Welcome to yet another interesting session of our MCMs, Spilling the Beans with Bean. So today we are chilling with two interesting, inspirational gentlemen, Fezile Makhanya and Tendai, aka Ten Diamond Nguni. Hi guys.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Welcome to Late Night Sessions with Bean.
Thank
you
you
Are
for
for
you
having us.
having us. Yeah.
Are you ready to spill some beans?
Yep. How much
Yes,
you willing to
ma'am.
pay?
Well, discount. Okay, so Fez, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Who's Fezile? What are you all about? Give us a small bite into your personality and your biography.
Fezile is a South African actor, born in South Africa, bred in KZN, living in Johannesburg. Is a sports fanatic. Is someone who enjoys, being with friends. Not talkative, contrary to popular belief. Even though I'm in the entertainment industry, I'm just a very chilled guy. Take things as they come. So what you see is what you get. Sounds like I'm marketing myself for a date now.
You're here representing the introverts.
Uh,
Or
the
the
people in
ambiverts.
between.
Or
The
the
people in
ambiverts.
between.
Yeah, the
Yes.
ambiverts, no?
Yes.
Okay, before we even continue, I just want to say my mom is probably going to faint when she listens to this episode because we have been your fans from the times when you were the presenter of the Powerball. Remember
Oh
those
wow.
times?
Yes, I do. Please take my
Yeah.
regards to her then.
True. Okay, shout out to my mom. Shout out. And then who is Ten Diamond?
Mm, well, Ten Diamond is more Tendai than Ten Diamond these days.
Okay.
I'm I guess a creative coach and a consultant. I sing, rap, write poetry, I act. I'm a huge fan of like brand strategy and strategic thinking, that kind of stuff. I love to learn. I really enjoy my alone time. I love nature, long walks in the park, yada yada yada. I guess I guess I'm here representing the people in between as well, but probably a bit closer to the introvert side of things, much to like the surprise of maybe anyone listening. But yeah, I definitely lean more towards like introvert. I love a good book, and I love all sorts of music. I'm a lover of music and just life in general, and a strong believer in. I guess my guiding belief is that we all have purpose inside of us, and purpose is what kind of unifies us or aligns us with God. So that's me. I think I'm the oldest of four kids. Yeah, that's
Okay.
me.
Nice. Awesome stuff. So I feel like today I'm going to have to take my personality down a few notches. Because you guys are like calm, cool, and collected. And I'm rather the loud one.
Nah, don't take it down. Like I think the contrast, the juxtaposition, like people will appreciate it. Like do you? It's all good.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Awesome.
agree.
Okay, I will do me. So, Fezile, who or what inspired your journey in the industry? And how long have you been in this journey?
Okay, so the interesting thing about being in television for me was never something that I wanted to do in the beginning. Like I said to you, I've always been a sports fanatic. So after high school, I got a scholarship to study at the University of Pretoria. And the scholarship or the bursary rather was for sports, in particular rugby. I was very fast. I was the second fastest kid in the country
Oh,
from the
wow.
age of 13 till I was 17 in the 100 meters.
Nice.
And then I
What was your
played
best
rugby.
time? Sorry, I'm so curious.
It's cool. My best time at 17 was 10:65
Wow.
What?
for the 100 meters, yes.
Oh.
So when I then came to study, I was living with my sister. Literally the first month, I was like, I'm not coming to this university. I want to sort of like branch out and make a bit of money, and maybe I'll go to UNISA instead. My sister's like, why don't you like also, if you want to make money, like extra cash, like get into adverts, you know? So I was like, okay, cool. I think on my third audition, I got the job for an advert. And this was the biggest paycheck I have ever seen in my tender age of 19 years at the time, you know, which is like 27,000, you know, and that's a lot of
Whoa.
money for a day's work
Yeah, that is a lot of
for a
money.
19-year-old, you know. My parents, especially my dad, couldn't believe it. Um, I was, you know, when you, I think, I don't know if you still remember the SABC One days or the Channel O days. I was studying full time, so I was juggling work and school full time, like 18 hours a day. I was doing something that is either work or studying. You know, I did a BCom degree in financial risk management. I'm a stockbroker by profession.
Who
But
knew?
yeah, who knew, eh?
Yeah.
Um, I've been inspired by many people, and a lot of people that inspire me are people that I've never met personally. It's people that I've also seen on television.
Yeah.
It's people that I've heard on the radio. You know,
Mhm.
I don't particularly have a role model in television, but the people that have helped me shape my career have been people that have been behind the scenes, like your producers and guys that and girls that own production companies. They're the ones that have sort of helped me guide my journey. I look at this career as a business. It's not about me wanting to be famous and wanting girls and I'm married, by the way. But besides that, for me,
Disclaimer.
yes, for me it's about how can I best position myself? How can I put myself in a position where I am able to have access to everything and anything that I want? So, for example, I'm an entrepreneur. I come from an entrepreneurial background. My parents my mom is retired now. She was a primary school teacher. My dad is an entrepreneur, has a construction and property development company. So I kind of took from the construction side and started something on my own in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
So I kind of use the influence of the face to get business, So it feeds each
Clever
other.
move.
Yes,
Clever
correct.
move. You got into the space to make space for what
There
you
we go.
want.
There you see. Now you're talking. Yes.
Awesome stuff. And for you, Tendai, who or what was your inspiration? And how long have you been on this journey?
Whew. Okay, when it comes to, I guess, like, film kind of happened by accident, even though, like, acting was my first love growing up, of all, like, the different creative things I do. I honestly never set out to become a musician. I didn't, I never, I never actually thought that I'd be good enough as a musician. So, like, I did, I guess, the usual at school. I did a lot of sport. I did drama. I did choir. I was a soloist. All of this stuff. But when it came time to leave school, I really, really wanted to be an actor. I ended up going to study a Bachelor of Commerce with a major of finance that I ended up dropping out of. And this was in Australia. While I was studying, I started trying to, because I didn't think I was a good enough singer to like sing and become a musician. At the time, I didn't rap. I didn't grow up listening to much hip hop. Really, I wouldn't say I was a hip hop head. So I spent a lot of time. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna become a songwriter. I've always loved words and playing with words and just, I don't know, just playing with their meanings and just words have always fascinated me. I'd always say, like, words were some of my first friends. So I was studying finance, and at the same time, I started looking into songwriting. And what I found over over the years I was studying, I'd go to class and I'd look around at like the other people studying finance, like, yo, these people really, really, really seem to love being here. Like, they're absolutely turned on by the things that are put up on the board. And while I was absolutely capable, I just, I didn't, I didn't feel engaged or alive. After a while, like, I'd wake up and I'd look down at the edge of my bed, and the pile of books that was prescribed for like my finance degree was paling in comparison to the books about songwriting and the music business that I was kind of like buying and investing in each month.
Yeah.
And then the first point of inspiration, I have to say, Mr. Kanye West, because I found this songwriting exercise in one of the books, and it called for me to write a hip hop verse. So I did that, and like I was obsessed with songwriting. Like I'd wake up every morning and I'd write for a good 1, 2, 3 hours before I really started my day. And I've always been a very early riser, so like 3, 4 a.m. and just write. Get home,
Yeah.
write. And once I really got into it, I just download tons and tons of beats, and I'd be freestyling constantly freestyling. And then I think it was around the time Kanye dropped College Dropout.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, the thoughts of like, man, this doesn't really feel like it's for me, this whole studying thing. Like I feel so out of place. And I'm really just like around then I started like finding myself around more of like your artsy kind of crowds, your creatives. And I never really experienced, since I'd gotten to Australia, I'd never felt so at home, like in a circle of people. And I really felt I had something to contribute to. So Kanye's College Dropout comes out. I listen to it. I'm completely obsessed. Now, growing up, I wouldn't say I was a hip hop head, but I was a big Jay-Z fan. So he's always been like he's always been
So
that, like
Jay-Z and Kanye.
yeah. But Jay-Z's always been like, I never felt moved to rap because his stories, while I loved everything he said, there's so many life lessons in there. I love the fact that he married business and music, but there was never anything that made me feel like, yeah, this is what I could do, right? So when College Dropout came out, I listened to it. I'm like, wait a second. You mean that I can rap and just be myself and just tell my story? I don't have to be like a thug or a gangster or sell drugs or any of that. I was like, you kidding me? And then I think that kind of just intersected with the fact that I wasn't happy studying. And I started writing my story, which became my first mixtape, which I called The Student of the Game. So yeah, Kanye was my first really big inspiration as far as music. And just people who kind of like encouraged and mentored me along the way, I guess. Like I had this one dude who was like my senior at school, but he also happened to be in Australia, and he was a DJ, he hosted parties and stuff. But, there's always that one guy who like becomes like a big party promoter at college and stuff. So he was that guy, and he put me in the studio for the first time, and kind of just poured a whole lot of belief into me. And then a bunch of friends who, like 3 friends, key friends really, I'd say, like who are all older than me as well, at school. So they really poured into me, and sadly none of them.
They pushed the dream.
Yeah. They were just like, you know what, you're not crazy. And I think that was huge. So I think,
shout out to them.
Yeah.
We appreciate them.
Absolutely.
So what, in your opinion, is the biggest challenge in the industry at the moment? Fezile.
I think the biggest challenge in our industry at the moment is the fact that in South Africa, we are not regulated as artists. I'll give you an example. If you look at the recent lockdown that has taken place because of COVID-19, the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, instituted a level 5. So for a good, 3-4 months, there hasn't been any work for someone who is not contracted to a production company. If you don't have a global. Now, a global contract is when they pay you a monthly salary for, say, 12 months, So you have a lot of freelancers so you only work when you get paid. That's what we call freelance work. And we are not protected even by our own government, but we are used for political campaigns and all sorts of things. That is really, for me, what I find the biggest challenge. I mean, we entertain people. When people were in lockdown, going nowhere, they were watching television.
True.
But we are the very same people who are not given the rights. There's no medical aid. You have to sort yourself out. It's the basics. We are no different. This is like an industry joke. We're no different to ladies of the night. And it's so sad because you see so many artists, in their late 50s, 60s dying with nothing. And that is a
Yeah.
huge challenge. It's really big. And it looks like government is not taking us seriously, and they don't want to change the system. We don't even get paid royalties. So if you have a show that's coming up, you only get paid when you shoot it for the first and only time. But when it plays in the UK or America or Germany,
You don't get paid for it.
nothing.
Oh,
None.
nah. Wow, I had no idea. Now, when you're saying that the government is not protecting the people in the entertainment industry, when I try and compare it with what's going on here in Germany, they took care of people to the extent of people with small businesses were given loans to make up for them being in lockdown and not making any money. And people like they were even putting out small contracts for artists, as small to big artists that were affected by this. They were getting a small something each month. So when you now say this, it's really like, yo,
It
those
was
are the,
bad.
because how are they meant to then now make ends meet
Correct.
during the lockdown?
It was bad and still is bad. I know the minister of sports, arts, and culture tried to have this fund for, he called it like a COVID relief, but the requirements were ridiculous. Like they were impossible. So a lot of artists are like, you know what?
And deliberately so that you're just discouraged to even just go through the whole thing.
So on paper, it looks like, yes, we tried, you know, but if you didn't come and apply
just didn't
for
meet
funding,
the
then
requirements. Exactly.
no, you know, like maybe 10 people out of what? For argument's sake, 100,000 artists got that money, and that's it, you know. And it's really sad. That's why you find that a lot of us dabble in other industries apart from entertainment. You know, you'll find, for example, DJs. They'll obviously DJ at night, and they've got businesses. They've got either pubs or like some kind of shisanyama,
some
or
other source of
something.
income.
Exactly. Yes, that keeps them going when things are not okay. Like a friend of mine who's an artist, like Tendai. He has a property business. I think he's got like 30 or 40 properties. He didn't suffer as much in lockdown. But at the same time, the people that were renting his properties, because some of them got retrenched and all those things, he lost out on quite a bit of income. But it could have been worse, you know?
Yeah.
It really could have been worse. So I really wish that government, because it's in their hands, our South African government could do better. And soon, before elections next year, or else they will see.
It will be a mess.
Yes.
Wow. And Tendai, on your end, I forgot to ask, where are you currently based? Are you in Zim or are you still in Australia?
Oh no, I'm in Zim and I'm in Harare. I left Australia ages ago. I'm in Zim.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you feel is the biggest challenge in the industry right now in Zim?
Having spent most of my time in the music industry, and then obviously with Cook-Off kind of, delving into the film industry, the problems are really the same on both sides. It's that we don't really have any industry to really speak of. On the one side, it's ourselves as the creatives who don't really approach it as a business, and then on the other side, where societally it's not really the perception of, if you're a musician or just any kind of creative, you're almost some kind of like a second-class citizen. But so much of like day-to-day life and so many like important, just the arts are such an important part of everyday life, and everyone kind of turns to us for all these different things, different occasions, and just like Fezile was saying, like election time, okay, cool, we're rolling out this artist. If it's and there just isn't that appreciation or understanding of just the immense value in the arts. You'll have the odd pockets of artists here and there in different industries who do manage to make things really work out, but it's the same, really. Like, unless you're doing something else as well, you're not really going to get to truly enjoy the fruits of your labor. Yeah. So I think it's a perception thing, both from just ourselves as creators and how we approach the business, the potential business, and then also just culturally, societally, it's not really given
Appreciated
not
and
really
valued.
appreciated. I always kind of say like you know, you have the different classes in society, your lower class, middle class, and upper class, and then if you're a creative in the lower class or the upper class or the middle class, you kind of fall to the bottom regardless of what class you're in. And then you compare that with, like, let's say if you're part of the political class, whether you're low class, middle class, or upper class, you kind of fall to the top as well. So like we're on the far end of the spectrum as far as like respect and value and what have you.
Okay. No, I get it. So now I'm going to steer this conversation in another direction. But yeah, it's still about men. So how do you define healthy masculinity? What is healthy? What is masculinity, first of all?
And I think you're smarter than the both of us. So let me leave you with this one here.
Oh, I'm gonna try and just
paint a picture for us.
I don't know if I can paint an entire picture because masculinity is extremely
broad.
It's wide ranging. It's broad. There's so many nuances to it, and I feel like sometimes it's when we speak of like toxic or healthy, it gets generalized quite a lot. But if I were to try and just like give some kind of a differentiation, I would say like when it's healthy, it's not entitled. It's devoid of entitlement. When it's unhealthy, there's a lot of entitlement in there, and that would be the best way for me to kind of catch it all. But
yeah, it does actually kind of paint a picture. Because I mean, lately with all the problems that have been going on and things going wrong in the world, this word has been thrown around so often that we are like, okay, what is actually healthy and toxic masculinity? But the way you've expressed it, I guess, really says a lot. It really says a lot.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Yep.
I honestly couldn't have. Like how he put it. Sorry to cut you short there. He spot on. Like adding anything now would just make me. I'd probably sound stupid. So whatever he said, I agree.
Whatever he said is the right thing.
No, okay. Seriously, because what he said makes a lot of sense, and I like how
it does. Because now it makes sense. If someone throws the word, you're a toxic male figure, no, I'm acting entitled. I am, So what are the common misconceptions about men and their emotions and the expression thereof, in your opinion, as men?
What are the common misconceptions about us men?
About you guys and your emotions and how you express them. I can tell you one. Okay. I'm a woman, but let me give you the misconception. Then you have to correct me. Men have always been taught not to express emotion. Otherwise, it's a sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cry. Don't be too romantic.
Mm-hmm.
But be romantic. I mean, we still want the romance, but if you overdo it, no, kind of thing.
Or he's on the feminine side of life.
Exactly. So
I agree and disagree with you. You're quite correct, but I also want to give you a different perspective. Men do show emotion. It might not be tears. And there's this misconception that men don't talk. Men talk. I think men talk more than women. It's just that we talk to the people that we are very comfortable in talking to.
And what? Women talk to everyone.
Look, I'm not gonna say women do this and men do that.
Yeah, I was about to say thin eyes.
No, all I will say is as Fezile, there are certain things that I might not share with my significant other, but I would find it easier sharing with Tendai. Whether I know Tendai or not, but if I am comfortable and he's a boy of mine, I'll be like, yo, bro, listen, mfana. I'm going through this, bruh, and I really don't know what to do. Like, tell me what in this situation, what should I do? You have people where you feel very vulnerable with, and you know that you're in a safe space. And I find that a lot of times you feel vulnerable with men that you actually trust.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can even feel vulnerable with a stranger who's a man. Like, I know that a lot of the things that I may go through, I get a lot of advice when I'm at gym in the steam room. I've never seen this guy from a bar of soap, because we can't even see each other. But there's like a couple of us in the steam. One guy would chuck up a conversation and say, "Yo, guys, hey, I'm going through this thing. I don't know what to do. You guys look like you're mature adults. Help me." Then the advice would come through, because like it's almost like a safe space. You're not gonna feel judged, because a lot of us are going through things anyway, man.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you don't want to do is break another man down, especially when he's humbled himself enough to expose himself to someone that he doesn't even know. You know. I think, so to answer your question, it is a misconception that men don't talk. Men do talk. It's just that we're not vocal about who we talk to and how we say it. We'll just keep quiet, and we'll wait for that moment to express those feelings to someone that we feel very comfortable in.
Okay. Yes.
I completely agree. Can I just add that, like, one of the I think one of the problems as well, like that kind of men kind of have to deal with, is that in the same breath that society or people in general, whatever, will be like, yo, men should express themselves more, show more emotion and open up, be more vulnerable. Like, the amount of times that you actually go ahead and do that, in the same breath you'll be persecuted for that or judged for that, or so I completely, like, I get it when he says, like, even a stranger, but if it's a man, there's just that understanding that, yo, we're not all iron on the outside. Like, there's a lot going on, and as much as we're, like, judged for not expressing, we are criticized when we do, or just it's harsh when like, but not just from other men, but like from women even, like,
true, very
so soft,
true.
he's weak, or but like, it's very mixed messages, like, I think it's such a sign of strength when a man cries. Okay, cry. Oh, he's weak. It's so
And then you find women say, I can't have a man that cries. Honestly, no, I cannot. I honestly cannot.
I can't be wiping my man's tears.
Yeah, no.
But then if you don't open up, it's like, he doesn't talk to me.
You're emotionally unavailable. They'll come up with all these terms.
Yeah. But I'd say one of the most common misconceptions is that all men are the same. That masculinity is just one singular type of masculinity.
Men are trash.
And it's like we're just heaped in this one generalized kind of silo.
Yeah.
And then, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions, that we don't have range to us, and there's a lot of range to us.
So how do we combat these misconceptions? How do we understand you? How do you understand men better? Because we want to understand men.
It's tricky.
We don't want to throw around.
I'm literally hearing you say this, and I want to say, oh, well, maybe listen to us and let us talk. But then I'm already like, but if we talk a bit too much, you could be the same ones who say, this one talks too much, or what? So, you know what I'm saying?
No, I get your dilemma. I get it.
And honestly, in this day and age, it feels very tricky to be a man. Like, if I were to say, okay, maybe how we can combat some of these misconceptions, if maybe we start from a standpoint of not all men are the way most people perceive men to be. But already to start saying not all men is like, you're heresy,
Yeah.
So I don't really have the answer for that. It is tricky. Like,
So we should just get to know the men that we have in front of us.
Well, okay. Let me base on social media. I've seen, even other women try to be like not all men and be like, nah, the men that you know are like that or what, and it's just all
Mm,
hell breaks loose
mm,
regardless. So, look, I think
There's no solution to this one.
I'm not saying there's no solution, but I
mm,
think the status quo of how things were, where like a man just quote unquote suffers in silence and just bees the man that he is in his own silence, and the noise can happen out there. Maybe that's what was working best, because to truly try and express the full like range and tapestry of what it is to be a man and
Mm.
what we perceive ourselves to be and how we like to be perceived, it almost feels a bit futile.
Mm.
mm. Maybe just to add on what you're saying and just use a different perspective,
Mm.
and this is just a blanket statement. Men don't. Women should stop comparing themselves to men
Mm.
emotionally because we're not the same.
No, we are
We
not.
are we are not built to express ourselves the way that ladies can. You know,
Men are
it's
rational, women are emotional.
that too. It is not in our nature. Yes, we'll tell you when we're upset and all those things, but we don't go into the nuts and bolts and be nitty gritty and be specific and try to solve for X. We speak
Mm.
in bullet form. I'm unhappy about this. I don't like this. I don't like that. Period.
Mm.
You know. Ladies, on the
Okay.
other hand, it's a bit different.
I send you
You
a
s-
paragraph of a
you know
text
you,
and
you-
you respond you
exactly
respond with okay.
exactly because now it's like this one, but you could have told me this thing in one sentence. Like, okay, please put the toilet seat down. That's it. That is what made you upset. you know.
But you went on and
Yo.
said, how many times have I told you that women need the toilet sit down for me to? Then you went on and on. Okay, no, I
So
get
let's
it.
just be honest. We will never be able to understand each other 100%. We never will.
Yeah.
And and the day that women accept that, I think life would be better, because there's this saying. I'll try to say it verbatim, where it says men don't want to change women. Men want to stay the same, but women, always try and change a man. If, for example, you found me liking sneakers, and in my 30s or 40s, I might still like sneakers. But here comes this girl who finds me wearing sneakers and she wants to change me and she wants me now to wear formal shoes. But like I told you this thing from the get-go, that I'm a sneakers guy. Why is it
Yeah.
going to change now because you're in my life? Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
It
mm.
it's like you guys always wanna, it's like in a project that you want to improve this person. You want to always try and make this guy, a little bit better. Yes, we appreciate it, but don't change who we are, because I think a man will always choose himself at the end of the day.
Okay. So if we don't want chest pains, we must just,
Look,
everyone must stick to their roles. No one must try and change anyone.
Well,
it's
wait, not
either
even like everyone must stick to their roles, because even within like men are rational, women are emotional, right? Even within the rational batch of men, there's a range. Some of us are more emotional in our rationality. Some of us are more rational in our
true.
rationality. Like,
Mm,
pair up with the person who is for you. Like, find your crazy
Mm,
and love that. Find your type of man and love that. Like, and
mm.
rather than trying to go into these like like Fezile was saying, like these projects. Like, if you were after the dude who wears the dress shoes and the suit then why weren't you there to begin with? Why didn't you
mm,
wait to do that? Why must you change our sneaker head into this guy?
Yeah,
mm.
because it's like you take 9 of my, out of a checklist of 10, you take 9 of the boxes, but the sneakers is just so it's like
But why? Why?
you. That's
Why?
a topic for another day. I
At
don't
least I
want
got
to answer for all
90%.
the
It's 9 out
women.
of 10. Now you want it to be 100. Like, why?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's just move away from this. Okay. So, a more serious question: what, in your opinion, is the root cause of violence against women and children? Gender-based violence.
I think it's insecurity more than anything else. Um, in my view, it's something that it also boils down to background.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I find that a man that did not grow up with a proper father figure, it doesn't necessarily have to be their biological father, but anyone could be an uncle or someone.
Mm-hmm.
An environment also plays in it, and what's the word? The environment also plays part to why there's gender-based violence. But most importantly, it comes to, in my opinion, it comes to insecurity, because like Tendai says, there's layers to this thing and not all men are the same. It could be triggers. I only speak from what I've seen from people within my circle who have been or have shown tendencies of being violent to their partners, you know. And for them, it boiled down to, okay, but I grew up being told that as a man, my word is final. So
You're
when
the
a
head.
woman says, exactly. So when a woman says, a comma after I've said a full stop, no.
So it's like to regain the power.
Exactly. It's very tricky. It's very tricky. And unfortunately, you're also asking, I'll speak for myself. I am not violent towards women. So I really wouldn't necessarily know in detail why some men do what they do. And you find that it's a small percentage of men. Out of maybe 100, I'd say maybe it's 3 that give the rest of us bad names.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the 97 who say nothing are also at fault for not saying anything.
True. Because I was actually talking about this with the other men last month, that we are trying to fight. Okay, we are now, there's a whole movement of now talking to the bystanders to say, you saw it happening and you did nothing. You see your friend treating his partner with some shady tendencies, and you don't say anything about it. You don't call your friend out, or you are at a party and you can see that this lady is now in a situation, whether she's sober or she's intoxicated, and you just watch. You don't even confront this guy. Like, I mean, sometimes it also doesn't have to be physical, like getting in between physically. It can be just, in your circles, calling out your friends, or stopping the sexist jokes, and this whole perpetration of the rape culture and victim blaming. This bystander thing.
That men that hit women, they're bullies to women, but not men. They will never pick on a man. They would rather pick on a woman, because physically, women are softer.
So in the true essence, he's weak.
Correct.
But to the woman, obviously, he's stronger.
Correct. The weakest male lion, will always be stronger than the strongest female lion. My solution to this is not popular, but is effective. A man that beats up a woman must be beat up.
Mob justice.
Not mob, because now you're going to kill the guy.
I get what you're driving at. Yeah.
Do you get me? Because it's the only way that you will understand what you're doing. No, prison is too good.
A bully must be bullied, so they
Thank
know.
you. Finish and clear. Then you'll tell you, but people have rights, and but where was that lady's rights when she was being beat up? What happened to her? Women are dying. Women are dying. Not so long ago, I think it was in March, there was a woman who in South Africa, in actually not too far from where I stay, in my area. This lady was stabbed. She was pregnant, 8 months pregnant, stabbed and hung on a tree.
Sure.
So here's my thing. I go to Twitter and say, this is terrible. This is wrong. This person must be punished. They must go to prison. It doesn't solve the issue. Me tweeting about it doesn't help. So then my question then to you as a lady, what more? What do you want me to do as a bystander? What can I possibly do? If you can say to me, okay, Fez, as a bystander, I would appreciate it if you did this and that and that. I did not do it, because it hurts me.
Yeah.
To be a man and you hear that this is what other men are doing. because now we all get put in the same blanket, you know. Hashtag men are trash.
So I'm gonna say, as a woman, first of all, before to the bystanders, call out your friends. When your friends come to you with this story that I did this to her or what, and you can tell that the contents of this story don't sound like this was consensual. Call out your friend. If your friend is abusing his wife, call out your friend. If your friend is being rough to his girlfriend, call out your friend.
You know, guys, I also believe there's always two sides to every story. It's, you know, us men, we're not gifted in talking and expressing ourselves. Ladies are. You find that sometimes, and this is me just playing devil's advocate, please don't get me wrong. In some of these instances, there's provocation that also takes place, where you find that the guy was not initially wanting to beat up his partner, but because of the verbal abuse that he gets, the slaps, the scratches, it just so happened that he pushes or slaps this lady. I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying that's also something we need to talk about. Because in the story that I told you about the pregnant lady that got stabbed and was hung, it turns out that it was not the guy or the boyfriend that did that. It was the boyfriend's wife who got guys to get this girl stabbed and hung. Because this girl now is pregnant with this guy's
boyfriend's child.
Exactly. So the lady that was pregnant was a side chick, and this guy was married. You know, that's why I'm saying that in sometimes there's always two stories. There's always two sides to the story. You know, it's just so unfortunate that when it boils down and it comes to the physicality of it, it's the men that mostly win. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong on all levels. It definitely is wrong. How do we solve it? Our governments, I will speak for our South African government, and it's men. It's mostly men who are in power, who, by the way, some of them also do the very same thing to their partners. I know this is tough, man. It really is tough.
It's just a vicious cycle.
Shame it is. It is. We have the wrong people sometimes leading us, because it's the very same people that we cry to that do the very same thing. On Twitter, I saw some lady saying that, you know, I hear some of these ladies calling out these abusers, and especially these abusers that are being called out, they have no money. What about those guys who are rich that are abusing their partners or their girlfriends? But the girlfriends are saying nothing because there's a financial benefit to them. Every time this girl gets slapped or beat up, the guy says sorry with a Louis Vuitton bag or a trip to Dubai or something.
True.
What do we do about them?
Yeah. Deep conversations.
Yeah.
But I'm glad these conversations are happening, because the more we talk about it, the more we are going to near to a solution of some sort.
You know, I think they should treat gender-based violence and rape the same way they do corruption. It should be all paired together, and things need to happen swiftly.
Because the sad thing with rape, over 80% of the cases do not end in justice.
Very true.
So there was even talk of capital punishment, but I'm not a fan of
I think that would help.
That.
It would help. It would definitely help.
True. Phew. Okay. All right.
That is quite dead.
Yeah, I keep
Tendai
thinking about the question and trying to think about, like, what is at the root? What is at the root, you know? And I liked what Fezile said about insecurity. I definitely think that's one of the things at the root of it. But then, you know, the more I've listened and the more I'm just thinking, like it's so nuanced. There's so many so many
The reason
potentially
why I asked you
impacting.
guys about masculinity was because that is also one of the said roots, the toxic masculinity.
Yeah, for me, I would definitely say that entitlement plays a part of it. Maybe entitlement that flows from just the a lot of cultural norms, even. But then, you
And
know,
gender roles.
you look at some cases like where, and this is just like some of it goes back generations, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
men who maybe watched their grand, you know, their grandfathers or their fathers be abused as a, you know, as a result of racism and made to feel like less than quote unquote men. And, you know, generationally trying to be like, I am a man, I am strong, and try and impose that. And then the triggers are just, you know, it's much more like a much more of a hair trigger where you don't even, you don't maybe see your female counterpart as a partner or someone who is standing with you, but rather someone who you now have to go the extra mile to prove to. And you know, you lash out. And then I think we, you know, I read some like this article, this study that was saying like the prevalence of like gender-based violence or male violence on women, you can't look at that without looking at like the prevalence of like the access to alcohol and things in like the drinking culture that kind of fuel this kind of violence as well. So again, like it's so super nuanced. Like I don't think there's any just one route or even
Yeah,
just
it's
one
really
answer.
complex.
Yeah.
It's really
There's
complex.
a saying in Zulu, a phrase that says "Umfazi weshaka," meaning a woman is hit. And where
Yeah.
that phrase comes from, it comes from an elder telling a young man who's getting married that you need to hit your wife. But in hitting your wife, you don't hit her with your hands or a stick. You hit her with your God-given stick. But then you find people who then change that and say a woman is hit.
Mm.
And when a woman is hit, it depends on you how you decide to hit a woman. A woman must be corrected, like a woman as a child.
She must be kept in check.
You know, like you're right when you say Tendai. This is a generational thing. You know, we need to change that though. It's up to us to change.
True.
So, what do you wish you had learned as young men about intimacy and relationships that you now know, but you didn't know back then?
You know what? For me, what's been a big thing is there was a huge period of life where I didn't realize that, like, because I'm very like I'm very big on like personal development, personal growth, all this kind of stuff, and you know, and I don't know how this escaped me or whatever the case is, but like I didn't realize for the longest time that a relationship or relationships is really an area of life like you really have to. It's not just like, oh, chemistry and what and oh, let's talk, and it's like you have to work at it. Like it's actually another area of life. It's a project of its own. It needs intentional work. And yeah, that would be the biggest for me. I didn't. Yeah, it feels even.
We thought it was going to be a chick
I
flick.
just not
You fall
no
in
no not
love.
not even. I just
and everything
no,
flows.
not even. I didn't appreciate or realize how much work goes into it. Even if like, you know, you're very compatible, you get along, but I didn't appreciate that like there is serious work involved. It's like, and through that kind of realizing and growing to understand that, I really, because I remember when I was younger, I had no, I won't say no respect for marriage, but I was like, married, settle down, da da da, you know. But I really grew to appreciate and respect that the concept of truly committing and truly saying that look, things will go bad, things will get hard, but we are going to proceed through it and look for ways to to kind of overcome, and it not just like a kind of this is how I feel today, or this is how I feel. So when I was younger, that's definitely something I wish I appreciated and understood a whole lot better sooner. I guess. Yeah.
I have to agree with you on that one. I'm Zulu, and from KZN, and we are told that men do not cry. You fight your battles. You would rather die standing than die on your knees. We are taught that when things go bad, look within to solve whatever problems that you have. But in looking within, for us, it was something that when I go through certain troubles of life that happen, I find myself being emotionally unavailable. It's difficult to express myself as a man, which is still a flaw even till today. When I have certain situations that I need to solve, it's even difficult to speak to my current partner, who is my wife, to say, listen, I am going through this. This is what happened. All I say is, yeah, look, things are not great right now, but I'll solve it. How, I don't know, but I'll solve it. I wish that as a young man, I was exposed to being more expressive. But then again, it goes down to where I grew up. Yes, I have a father and I have a mother, but growing up in such a place where my father is also very Zulu is the word I can use. He's very traditional, and you come from that surrounding environment as well, where it's difficult to express your emotion. So you rather die inside. And when you grow up as a man and you become a man, you become a husband, there's certain things that if you did not fix as a child or a teenager,
they're hard to unlearn.
Very, very. And being married to someone and them trying to fix it is not going to happen overnight. This is decades of stuff that you have been ingrained with this thing. I'll tell you something very personal. I remember going through something quite sad in my life where things were just not going my way. It happens to everyone. And I was married. And it happened to be one of my birthdays. And we were supposed to go somewhere. And on that day, something said to me, what have you actually achieved so far in these 2 years? Or this 1 year that you've been with this person? Nothing. And you're supposed to be a provider. Remember that our core function as men is to provide. And when that thing is not there, or it's taken away, or it's just not present at that moment, you almost feel like you're worthless. Because you grow up being told that one day you will get married, you work, you must provide for your family, and that's us giving the whole time, and you're not told that in life you go through seasons, just like you find in nature. And when you go through winter, what then happens? That's also a contributing factor to gender-based violence, where you cannot express yourself in words, and you have this lady always next to you, like wada, this, that, wada, and you're trying to mind your own business. You're trying to solve the situation, but you have this voice that keeps on. It's just there. And because you can't express yourself, the only thing that you can do is express yourself physically. I'm not justifying the violence, but I'm just giving another perspective of what also contributes towards gender-based violence. That some men they're not violent by nature, but it is a circumstance that causes him by default to become exactly. But you find that had he been able just to speak, cry if need be, maybe that situation could have been avoided. So I have to agree with Tendai. Us as men, man, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go, but at the same time, you ladies, your gender confuses us. You know, you get a man that expresses himself, you're told yourself.
You'll never understand
You
us.
cry, no
Disclaimer,
way.
I'm just
Can't have a
telling
man
you.
that cries. There's no way. So, like, what do you guys want? What do you want us to do? Maybe that's something we should ask you guys, because, but at the same time, you guys will give us different answers as well. You know?
We want you to do everything and nothing.
Yo. Ow, everything and nothing, eh? Sure.
Everything and nothing.
Like, for example, my wife would come to me and I'd see her like, yo, you're not okay. What's wrong? No, this and that happened. This is the situation. And I'm a guy, man. I'm solution driven. Okay, I'm actually thinking maybe you can try to do this and do that. No. I don't want you to solve my problem. I'm just telling you what it is. How? Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought I was just.
Yeah, but yeah, if I wanted to solve my problem, I would tell you, would help me come up with a solution. But if I'm just ranting, be my human diary.
But can you then be specific and say, I'm just ranting? Put out a disclaimer, because the problem solver in a man kicks in. To try and this is us trying to help. We have good intentions. But if you're not specific in what you're saying, how are we supposed to know? Because when you keep quiet and say, oh, okay, hey, sorry, how? Then you also have a problem.
You're not understanding.
And like you said, you want us to do everything but nothing at the same time.
Everything and nothing.
No, I think no, she really gave the real honest answer. Everything and nothing.
Like,
yeah.
my light bulbs in my head all just blew. Like, what that answer?
I answered the question. I mean, so, right, let's go. What is something that your brain tries to make you do and you have to will yourself to do it?
Oh.
Examination questions, ne?
I'll just maybe keep it very simple. For me, I have my serious face or my thinking face looks like not angry, but looks very menacing. And I sometimes catch myself in the mirror and I have to like really like smooth out my forehead. Like, okay.
And say, dude, why so serious?
Just think. I think that's the closest I can come to. Like, people be like, what's wrong? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm just thinking. Like, so that would be it for me, I think.
Okay. And Fez, since you couldn't answer that one, yours is give me 3 rules out of the bro code.
Yo.
I'm trying to get some intel here.
Okay.
Help a girl out.
I'll tell you. The first rule in bro code is never to say anything about the bro code.
Wow. Okay.
The second rule of the bro code is to keep the bro code secret. And the third rule of the bro code is answers 1 and 2.
Well played. Well played. Well played. So, what is that one thing when you grew up you thought would be common amongst adults, but when you grew up you found out it wasn't?
Money.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to agree.
Yeah.
Ooh,
true.
Okay, that one. True. Fez, if you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what would you ask?
If I could know the total and absolute truth
to one question, what would you ask?
Sure. I think my question would be, at first I thought money. I thought, what is the true meaning of happiness and being content? I think for me,
deep question.
If I were to get the real answer to that, I would be in a better place. Because I find that, and I've seen this with people that I bump into, that as much as I would love to be this billionaire, but would I have enough time to spend with family? and loved ones.
Yeah.
Would I be happy? I'm not saying that being rich, you're unhappy. No, but for me, the most important thing in my life is the pursuit of happiness.
Mm. And for Tendai, what's your question? If you could know the absolute and total truth.
I'd want to know my purpose. I mean, I feel like I know my purpose and I have it defined, but I'd want to just be sure. And because one of the kind of voices that kind of plays in my head is the voice that says, "Nah, not you. Why you? How? Couldn't be." Nah. I'd love to just shut that voice up and be like, but the all-knowing said this is the answer once and for all. But
Yeah.
so that's what it would be for me. I'd want to know completely and without wavering what my purpose is.
Okay. You are a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
I'd be green.
Why green?
Green represents growth. Green is everywhere. Green is the one color that even if burnt, still grows again. It doesn't matter the country. It is borderless. It's a natural color that makes you feel good. It represents change. It represents prosperity. It represents growth. Funny enough, it represents love. It represents giving. It represents consistency and represents change, but still remaining constant by being green.
Deep. Now I understand why you got 27,000 for your first salary. You just advertise green and make green the in thing.
I was like, green? Is this
in less than a minute?
Green? I gotta go and get me some green.
I know, right?
I'm like, wait a second, is green my new favorite color?
You started with an introduction, then you went to the body, and then you just ended it with green is change, but still being constant. Oh, okay. Now, Tendai, you have to top that. I mean, what color are you in the box and why?
I'd be a special new crayon that is like double colored, so it'd be black and gold.
Kaiser Chiefs, basically.
I can never pick one. I can never pick one of them. I can never let them go by themselves. Like black and gold together is just perfect.
And why?
Because I believe it is in the blackest, darkest parts of ourselves that we find the gold that we need to ultimately take out into the world and share our light.
Yeah, no, he topped it. He did it.
Hey. Hi,
I feel like we should probably start a business selling colors now. I really feel like there's something in there.
You guys are out there yeah. Okay, one last color question and then we're done with this. Describe the color yellow to a blind person.
Okay. I would take this blind person to the sea. Sure. Make him take off all his clothes except for his boxers. I'd make him listen to the sound of the waves on a sunny, warm day. The warmth of the sun's rays and the sound of the seashore for me would be and a hug at the same time would be the color yellow. Like yellow represents calmness. It's almost like I think yellow should have been a color of peace. It's two shades. It's almost similar to what Tendai was almost saying about the color black and gold. It's calm and can be violent depending on where you are in your life. But for the purposes of answering this question, for me, yellow it represents calmness. It's almost like godliness. It's almost like the Holy Spirit, for lack of a better word. It leaves you whole inside more than anything else. It's a warm, fuzzy kind of feeling.
Okay. And Tendai?
I'd have them drink a mixture of like lemon and honey.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, like so the lemon's been sitting in the honey, so it's got like the hints of the sweetness, but still got a lot of the like the lemonness, and then
Mm.
ending with the honey.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That for me
I
is
get
yellow.
it.
Yeah.
I get it. The last question of the day is, who is God, and or what is spirituality to you? And how important is that in your life?
We need to understand and know that as a black people, and I hate that word black,
Mm,
as a brown people, as a blessed people, as a chosen people,
Mm,
there's a difference between religion and spirituality.
mm-hmm.
true.
Religion is Christianity, it's Islam, it's Hinduism and all those names that you give
Mm,
to things. Spirituality is having a relationship, a direct relationship with your creator.
mm,
In English, they call him God. In Islam, they call him Allah. In my language, they call him Umkulu, the great grandfather of our grandfathers.
mm,
In the Bible, they mixed it up in Zulu and called him Unkulunkulu. There's no Zulu word in my language that means Unkulunkulu. It has no meaning.
mm,
Um, Spirituality is something that you experience. No one can experience it for you. Someone can introduce you to the creator, but you can only experience him. I'll even dare say her
in your own
in
personal
your
way.
own personal way. He does not need to be marketed. God does not need Christianity. He does not need Islam to be God. He exists above and beyond that, and even below and within, most importantly.
Mm,
God is infinite, but in him being infinite has left infinity in us as human beings. He, man, I love talking about this because I feel like as Africans, we're now starting to understand, or we're starting to open up our minds to whom God is in the context of being African.
mm,
I grew up in a Christian. I grew up in a Christian family. My grandfather, my mom's dad, was a pastor.
mm,
So we believe in Jesus and the Holy Trinity, and I still do till today. But something that I've never understood until recently is, why is it that in Christianity they say that when a person dies, they are no more, that we should not believe in ancestors. Christianity makes us believe that when our African ancestors are dead, or when our African people elders have passed away, they become evil, they become demons. But in the Bible, when God came to Abraham and said to Abraham, I am the God of your forefathers, how can you be a forefather if you're alive?
mm,
One. Secondly, the Bible says that in Psalms, he will command his angels concerning you to protect you in all your ways. Now, I'm of the belief that our angels, I am guarded by my ancestors who have been instructed by God to look after me. I don't pray to my ancestors. No, I don't bow to them. I don't praise them.
mm,
Let me put it that way. I believe in God, yes, but I also believe that God would not send an Italian ancestor there, Monsieur Fomba, to go and look after me, because he would scare me the hell out because I don't know him. And as much as
mm,
I might not know my great grandfather, but surely there would be a sense of peace when I'm approached or being guarded by this particular angel. I believe that being spiritual is having that intimate relationship with your creator, to understand
mm,
who you are, because each and every single one of us are God. We are all God. We have an element of being God.
Absolutely.
We don't give ourselves enough credit. We don't give ourselves enough power because of religion. That makes us always want to make God this guy this guy who sits on a throne and just the whole day just punishes.
Sorry, Fezile.
Punishes.
Can I just say something quickly? I
Oh,
absolutely agree.
okay.
Like we at the very same time we overestimate ourselves and
Yes,
underestimate ourselves at the very
correct.
same time. It's
Yes.
crazy. Yeah. So I feel you there completely. We
I
don't
could
realize
talk
how great we are, and
absolutely.
we
You
don't realize
know,
how small we are as well. But
words build.
mm,
And
Power of
since
the tongue.
yes, the power of the tongue builds. And that comes from somewhere. In the beginning, God
there
created
was
the heavens and the earth. And he said, let there be. So if he can say, let there be, what is stopping you and I to say, Fezile, let there be success in what I do?
mm,
Let there be opportunities in this thing. Let this thing be blessed. Let this thing happen. Why? It's because I personally believe that our belief or our spirituality has been distorted by
mm.
religion. That's what I believe. Pay your tithes. If you don't pay your tithes, you're not going to be blessed. You have to wear this when you come to church instead of that.
Yo, that's the same thing that I forget which part of the Bible is, but that it's part of the same thing that Jesus, came to do away with. Like, it's come to me, all who are weary, and it was speaking about weary from like all these religious like things that you have to do. Like the Pharisees would constantly complain, like, "Oh, you
Yes,
haven't observed this rule, you haven't observed,"
yes,
and like I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, yes, but I also believe. I sometimes tell people that I kind of believe and don't believe at the same time, but not like I don't believe in God, but like in that when I look at like a lot of the Bible, because I realize that look, this is not our spiritual history that was documented, but it's
true.
there, and I don't believe that the different cultures deviate that much from each other, and that it's essentially more about what what are these stories trying to represent? What are the metaphors? What are the principles? What are the lessons that we're really supposed to be drawing from them? And
Yeah.
and I'm still open to the fact that maybe not necessarily, maybe not literally someone died and came back, but maybe it's a metaphor for like we have to die to a certain part of ourselves and come back elevated.
Mm.
Maybe Christ-like thinking or behavior is an ideal that we over time as humans try to make sense of something out there that we knew we needed to be or become but couldn't quite get it together, because like
Mm.
it's so hard for me sometimes to ignore like when you read about like how like the Bible's put together or the influences that
Yeah, yeah.
the people
Very
who
true.
wrote it had, like, and I feel like it's unfair when people are like, no, you have to just take it as it is, don't ignore all that. Like, no, let's understand the context. I think it matters, it feeds into a thing, because
Mm.
it's unfair to sit and tell an African and be like, yo, as much as like your name doesn't come up even once in the book, your face doesn't come up once in the book, this is the book. I don't believe that God did that to us, that God would want that for all of us. Like, I believe we will, because it's like saying like the person who is in the Amazon jungle or wherever, some remote place, who has never had an experience of Christianity or the Bible is not going to go to heaven just because,
Yeah,
like, it's almost like, why would God set you up to fail like that? So I
yeah.
absolutely agree with what you say about like the spirituality and having a relationship with God. But we don't all, that path wasn't all set for all of us the same way. And when you say that we are God too, I love that, because I wrote a lyric in a song that I wrote a lyric in a song called Mwana Wenyu, and the lyric says, "You're God too, God given,
Mm.
and God's proof that God's living, and God's heaven is inside you."
Mm. Mm.
And like that came from this idea of like, man, we don't realize just how amazingly great and awesome we are, but at the same time we don't realize just how tiny and almost insignificant we are, but how both of those things are very important, and we don't need to like
True.
sacrifice one to the other. They can exist, both of them together. They each have their
Perfect.
place and their moment in what we're supposed to express. For me, I believe God is purpose. It's that little voice, that feeling inside of us that's like, yo, I am meant to do this. I am meant to say this. That I truly believe that God sits inside of us. And like the reason why like we're meant to like do good and be good to others and treat ourselves well is because like we are walking vessels. Like we have to take care of this thing because the all and everything exists within us. Like and it's trying to get back to itself through each and every single one of us. I think like we are God trying to experience God, because I think from being God up there all seeing and all knowing, it's I think a totally different experience to be the many billions of people on earth and experience the different shades of humanity, which are essentially like of godliness as well. Like you look at Old Testament God and New Testament God, like God is wide ranging and complex as just as we are sometimes, So
It's funny. I
yeah.
literally had this conversation yesterday. I will send you guys the links when the episode is out. But I had this same conversation yesterday. I was recording an episode. So you guys are like taking it a step further, and it's deep.
There's something that Tendai said about we are God having a God experience. The question is, it's not that do you believe in God? The question should be, do you believe in yourself? And if you then believe in yourself, it's easier for you then to believe in God.
Because
if
yourself is
that's it.
Is God in you, but
Thank
it's
you.
your personal version.
Tendai said it so nicely. He said it so beautifully. He said, you are God having a godly experience. So if you then do not believe in yourself, how can you then believe in something else?
In God.
If you don't believe in yourself. My name is Fezile Makhanya. I have a mother and I have a father. I am fortunate I know both. If someone today were to come to me and say, your name is not Fezile Makhanya, I'd laugh at them. Because I know where I come from, I know who I am.
Yeah.
And because I know I walk in that authority of who I am, I don't doubt it for any more. Even if I were to be drugged and drunk, it does not change the fact that I am who I am. And if I am who I am, then I believe that he is in me and I am him. I may be just a smaller version of who he is, but it does not take away the fact that I am who he is. I am God.
Deep.
Then other religious scholars would go, no, that is blasphemy. How dare you say that you are God? Shantaba glory, watch your fire rushing down the mountain. No, you are not God. They've commercialized this thing. They've seen it as a way of making money. And a lot of us are gullible, man. A lot of us are gullible. And I hate to say this, but I think women are more gullible than men. That's why you find all these churches in South Africa springing up. If you want to be married, come pay this tithe, this 1,000 rand, every month. God will see your sacrifice and you will find this man. Yeah.
Thank you guys. You just opened my mind to a different level.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap this up, what are your words of advice to the young people out there and the old people that are listening? In anything that comes to mind that you feel like sharing with the listeners. I mean, there've been a lot of nuggets of wisdom in this conversation, so they will have a lot to take from it. But
I
just some final words.
I'm just gonna say, be patient. You have done so much more than you realize, and there is so much more to come.
That is so true.
In God's time.
That is so
in
true.
God's time.
I would also just say, be present. Be in the moment. Bask in what you're going through, in all the glory. Be present.
True.
And put yourself, Be present. All of you should be in that moment. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday. Don't think of what's still to come. Be in that moment. And I'm 36, and that's something I'm still learning to do. I'm still teaching myself to be present, to be in this moment. That's it.
And your two pieces of advice actually like go hand in hand. In your being present, be patient.
Yes.
In your patience, still enjoy your present time.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Wow, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Fezile, nice meeting you, man. Great conversation.
Man, you
really,
too, man.
really appreciate it.
It's very nice meeting
Stay
you too.
blessed. Stay safe. I'm really honored to have had your time. I mean, we went over time, but it was worth it.
Can you speak some German since you're in Germany?
What do you want me to say?
Anything, just like so that we know that you're not lying. You know, you could be somewhere in Soweto.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up in German, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Dankeschön, Fezile, und Dankeschön, Tendai. Danke für eure Zeit. Dankeschön. Also ich wünsche euch eine schöne Woche und bleibt gesund. Gott segnet euch. And then there was silence.
We are listening. We are listening.
Translation.
We're just Google Translate. Google Translate.
You
just
know.
checking, verifying.
Yeah. It could be somewhere.
I basically,
it could be somewhere in Soweto. You're lying to us. Yes. Yeah, no, guys, I'm in German.
chilling under the street light, and then like, Shem, they're believing me. God. No, I basically say thank you so much, guys, for your time. I'm wishing you guys a lovely weekend, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Gott segnet euch.
No, thank you so
Gott
much.
segnet euch means God bless you.
Thank you. Tendai, pleasure meeting you, brother. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. Same to you, man.
Stay blessed. Stay awesome, guys. Catch you on the flip side.
Donkey.
Yes, take care.
Cheers, guys.
Right, Kevin.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Do check out Fezile and Tendai on their Instagrams. I'll leave the details in the description box. And I am leaving you guys with Mana Wenyu by Tendai Ryan Nguni, aka Ten Diamond, featuring Brian K. Enjoy, stay blessed, have a lovely week. From your bean with the biggest love.
We are so ona iwe. We are so ona. We are so ona iwe. We are so iwe. Hamura makaka. We are so ona. We are so hamura makaka. We are so ona. We are so hamura makaka. We are so
Here's what you hear. 10 isn't ready to rule. He's infected with fear. He's neglected his peers. Plus, with his beads and his beard, he's protected as if a blessing from the heavens appeared. As if every lesson he learned was an essence of spear. Every bridge that he burned, every single one of his tears was the foundation upon his proud nation we cheer. From the Matopas to the Kami ruins, they're raising an army through him. Look to the sky, they sending songs and psalms to him. Look in their eyes, ain't no surprise, he's God to him. You're God too, God-given and God's proof that God's living and God's heaven is inside you. So there it is, print it out and put it on walls. Laminate it, meditate it till its home is your heart. Let it be known you're perfect just as you are. Ain't no mirror fit to reflect, cause your purpose is as a star. But that's when the other winds will tell you 10 is probably a nganga, a monster, bold-headed, ready to conquer. Vatanga, vavengi vataimboziva kudhara, tichiri vapana, manje tatoa madhara. Atingafe nenyota makumbo ari mumvura, so we're sipping experience, so leader and trua. We're not poor, rich off of every minute lived. Every day is a dividend, we just wanna invest. So future moments of birth might be moments of work. Every African mind molded to be leaders.
Yes.
Every African fist frozen hot for freedom.
Yes.
So no African dies bleeding for no reason. It's like I'm an alien when I'm saying that the weight of the world might be bearable if we shared it with these women and girls. They're half of the sky, why not give them half of the pie? But you'd rather deny, 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 deny. As expected, it's clear, every tree eventually bears fruit. Every son of the soil will eventually share truth. The perfect 10 isn't even the perfect me. It's really the perfect you, a vision of what I see.